September 27th. It's about 10:15 in the morning now. It's brisk and it's cold. It's a beautiful morning. I have some crazy stories to tell you about my walk-in. And then, I saw a few more deer after that, but it's like the first cold snap we've had this fall. It's chilly. It was like flat calm this morning. We got like 10-mile-an-hour northwest wind now, but I don't know. I think this cool weather's got deer definitely on their feet, bucks acting maybe a little bit more territorial. So things are getting right. It's still really early in the season. The rut isn't on, but this cool weather definitely has deer on their feet. So probably gonna get down here pretty soon, make some breakfast, and then I'll tell you about my morning. It was crazy. There's a few different crazy stories I have. So one of them's hunting related and one of them's not really. But yeah, let's get down now, head back to the house, and we'll talk there. I'm usually a coffee guy, but I think we're gonna do a hot cocoa. I'm pretty cold. That's the stuff. Hot cocoa. Saving people's lives. So I wish we were having fresh back straps, but a good old-fashioned scrambler will do. So yeah, let's get breakfast fired up, and I have two very interesting stories. One's about hunting and one's about a very personal item of mine that I lost. So let's get cooking. On the menu this morning, we have some spuds, a little bit of ham, a little bit of cheese, and then a couple eggs. Just a scrambler. A little bit of green peppers. A little bit of color, a little bit of flavor. So over the past like 3 or 4 days, Steph and I, we've been doing a lot of fishing, but we've been doing a lot of hunting too, just like I was this morning. But the cool thing is, like, maybe past 3 days, it's like the first cold front of fall has really moved in. And before this, we were hunting in 80-degree weather, sweating like 200 pounds of butter left out in the sun, and now this morning it was like 50 degrees. And I think that's got the deer doing some interesting things. So a few days ago, Steph and I, we scouted some of this public land pretty close to us because we're really trying to not overhunt the land we have permission for. I feel like every time you go out there, you spook deer.
You get your scent everywhere, and overhunting is not good, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna kind of mildly hunt the land we have permission for around here, and then do some other hunting in some public land. But we did a ground mission. We didn't see anything. We scouted some really good land that's pretty close to this private that we have permission on, and that looks good and promising. But besides that, after a few hunts this past weekend, we seen just a few deer. But this morning I walk out there, and it's pitch black. Like halfway to my stand, I just hear the most violent, like rustling around in the weeds. And then all of a sudden I hear deer fighting. And I'm like, no way. Absolutely not. No way. It's like the end of September, right? Like the rut isn't here. But it was, I'm telling you, so freaking loud. I kept creeping up closer and closer because no way they'd hear me. This was so loud. It was just, and it wasn't even like mild sparring. It wasn't like, it was like real aggressive fighting. And I was like, oh. So I like knelt down right there, and it's pitch black, but I can see these two deer fighting probably, I don't know, 50 yards away from me. For all you hunters out there, let me know if you've ever seen some aggressive fighting at the end of September. In my opinion, I think it's way early. I don't know if this cold front maybe made them a little more territorial, kind of pushed things farther along, but it's not like it's Halloween. It's just the end of September. But after they were done fighting, one of them went their separate ways, which was probably only 30 yards away from me, and I could just hear him heavy breathing, and he's just trotting through like this tall switchgrass, and it was intense. It was freaking intense. After I felt like they were kind of out of earshot range, I couldn't hear them walking anymore, I slowly crept up to my stand and sat there, and I was freaking fired up after that. Like, I'm on doe patrol, but after hearing that, I'm like, I want a buck.
Scrambler complete.
So besides hunting, fall fishing's been really good. When we haven't been hunting, we've been filming some fishing, been doing a lot of different photo shoots with different companies, and yeah, I think the bass seem to be a little bit all over the place, but I see a majority of them, or just at least a majority of my bites, starting to become more and more shallow. So I'm still getting bit on a football head jig out deep, still fishing a lot of deep structure, catching some freaking giants. But definitely last week, the shallow bite really started to turn on. A lot of spinner baits, chatter baits. I'll roll a clip of a big one I caught in probably 6 inches of water on a chatter bait. Yeah, things are definitely flipping from late summer to fall, which is cool because fish put on the feed bag and obviously deer on their feet.
Fish on. I don't know what this is, but he freaking ate it first cast, chatterbait. It's a big largemouth. Yes, first cast chatterbait. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Falls right out. Short and stocky. Let's see if we can do that again. Nothing but bombs tonight. So bad. See you, buddy. Definitely in the air. See you, big mama.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't care if it's camping or deer hunting or ice fishing. It seems like when it's a little cold outside, warm food outside tastes like that much better. I don't know. I like to do a lot of cooking. Even though I'm at my house, a lot of cooking outside. Not just grilling, but just cooking anything outside, just in my garage. I don't know. Maybe I just like to be outside. But let's get to kind of a more interesting story that kind of developed not just past couple days, but this morning as well while I was in the deer stand. So maybe you've seen it in the videos. I've showcased in the videos a little bit, definitely on Instagram. But earlier this year in 2022, my grandpa actually passed away, and that's obviously a sad deal. But he was old. He lived a great life, and kind of as a memento, the funeral home made some really cool pocket knives that had his fingerprint like ingrained on it, and it said, you know, Grandpa, and then the year he was born, the year he passed, and it was really cool. I don't know. My grandpa was an outdoorsman. He's a big farmer, had 10,000 chickens, but they did some deer hunting. He did a lot of pan fishing, a lot of ice fishing, spearing, and it just, I don't know. I like this knife not only because I used it a lot, but just, I kind of know, it reminded me of him. And long story short, basically since he passed, I've been carrying this knife on me everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a bass fishing tournament or a trip up north or, you know, going out to eat or just hanging around the house. Like, this thing was basically glued on the inside of my pocket. It had a little pant clip since the day I got it up until like a week ago. Not a week, up until like 3 or 4 days ago. And I don't know, like, I'm not extremely organized, but every time I go to bed, maybe some of you do the same, before I go to bed every night, I put my wallet, my phone, my keys, and that knife, like, all together in the same spot. And Friday evening, I was like, where's my knife? You know? I didn't really think I had lost it or misplaced it. I had no idea where it went. And like I said, it's not a huge deal. It's just a pocket knife, but now you know this knife means a little bit more to me. Like, I could probably get it replaced, maybe call the funeral home or whatever, but Saturday came, we did some hunting, did a little bit of fishing. Still, I couldn't find it, which, like I told you, was weird, because it's usually on me and I know right where I put it every single day. Sunday rolled around, I couldn't find it. I started looking throughout the whole garage, the boat, the truck, the house, couldn't find it at all. Monday evening, I was pretty much convinced that I had lost it. So then I'm sitting in the deer stand this morning, and it's like 8 o'clock, and I look at my phone just to check the time, and my phone is just blown up. And it's basically a bunch of people telling me somebody found my knife. This super awesome dude named Kyle posted in the Facebook page, Fishing Minnesota, I found this knife at a boat access, just want to get it back to its rightful owner. And he took a picture of it, and boom, it got like 500 likes. People started tagging me in it. Buddies started sending me the post, and I don't know. This all happened at 8 a.m. this morning when I was in the deer stand, and I couldn't freaking believe my mind. First off, I can't believe I dropped it at a boat access and somebody ended up finding it. Second off, I can't believe this guy was kind enough to post about it and try to get it back in the rightful owner's hands. Because, you know, to him, he might have just chucked it in his truck. It's a $20, $30 knife. Maybe he would have kept it. Maybe he wouldn't have thought twice about it. But he was kind enough to know that somebody was probably looking for this, and maybe it meant something to somebody, and it does. That knife means a lot more to me than a lot of the really nice outdoor gear I have. So Kyle, I can't thank you enough. So messages transpired. I'm gonna get in contact with him around 1 o'clock. I'm gonna go meet up with him and get the knife back. So now what I'm asking to you guys, what should I do for Kyle? Because I got to do something. Maybe a gift card, maybe take him fishing, maybe something, because I don't know. there's a lot of bad people in this world, and then there's a lot of good people too. And this just kind of helped remind me, you know, there's a lot of good people out there that respect people's things that aren't theirs, and they're just trying to do the right thing. I'm a part of a lot of different Facebook pages like Ice Fishing Minnesota, Minnesota Bass Heads, Fishing Minnesota, just a bunch of those. And to be honest, there's a lot of good stuff on there, but there's a lot of negativity too. You know, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of people arguing about this hook is better, or this jig is better. There's a lot of drama on there, right? And I don't know. That just restores my faith in those forums and the community. And it's like, I don't know. It seems like a small thing. This guy just trying to find the owner of a pocket knife, but like, you know, it's a much bigger deal to me, and I appreciate the hell out of it. So this is where the story ends here. I'll pick up the video when I go meet up with Kyle, and comment down below, what should we do for him? You know, I guess there's nothing left to be said, and stay tuned. And as always, let the adventure begin.
Move ahead, oh my pretty babe, something ain't right. Got to find a way to move ahead. Oh my pretty babe.